Hi, Dr. Disco and I are going to do a celebrity reading viewer request on Kylie Jenner. Okay, right off the bat, I get like a lot of heavy energy. I find like when I tap into this family, like their greater family, all the siblings, etc., and mother, there's I don't know whether you want to call it like manifesting magic or like just magic in general, which like you could say like there's a difference between like faith and like magic, like where you're like trying to control things, control the narrative through whatever types of things, whether it's like you know lightweight stuff or more involved practices or whatever. So it's just that kind of feeling I get where it's just like a pressure feeling, which is different than just like a nice kind of spiritual vibe. And whether that's like no fault of her own or like whether it's just like in the family somewhere and it's affecting her or whatever, I'll just tap into that. Like I don't want to point fingers right off the bat, but I'm just saying like that's the energy I feel is like this type of choking, like manipulation energy that one could call like manifestation, like the book The Secret or whatever, like people going like, oh my god, I don't want this, I gotta like write it down, I gotta, and it's like you could argue that working that way is sort of denying, like if you believe in God, like if you believe in a creator of everything, like why wouldn't you let the top creator like kind of run that show instead of being like really stressed out trying to, I gotta be with this person romantically, or I gotta like, this is the only job for me, or whatever. So you might be like missing the boat that you would enjoy more by putting so much effort into trying to manipulate things like the way you want them to, because like like the human mind is not as awesome as God's mind. Okay. All right, let's look at this energy. Well, it kind of feels like because she has so much media coverage on her, it forces her to kind of stay small as an energy, and that's like stifling. You could argue like, oh, she's so successful, she has everything she wants, but she doesn't have like the freedom to just be herself unnoticed like most people have. Um, so she's kind of living in this sliver, like the real her is like not at like 2%, but like really like a sliver of because anything she does or says is going to be documented. I mean, even doing this video is like an invasion of her privacy in a way. Like, but I think like what I try to do with these videos is by talking about someone that's well known, it kind of brings up these different concepts or ways of healing or dealing, going through life that's useful for everybody. So it's not like so much about who's this person as like let's talk, you know, about like living and our choices and stuff. So personal freedoms at a minimum. She has a lot of. I feel like there's like three members of her immediate family that are like, I'm gonna say unenlightened people who are forcing an agenda upon her that she's not, that's not helping her. uh, and it's because they don't really like they're not aligned with their like true path, you know. And so there's like kind of asking her, forcing her to cooperate with their concept of what should be, but it's actually an like an unloving action on their part towards her. And in the end, it's gonna be like, you know, the stuff that you do that's not like good, like tends to backfire like multiple times over. So they're being like forceful about it is gonna like keep their own dreams like at arm's length for, you know, maybe forever, but maybe until they're into old age even like so. And that's like a person's lesson on like not trying to like run the show as it were, like you know, like they're on a show and stuff. So all right. So there's that energy she has to deal with too. But like when she is enjoying herself, I feel like she's truly enjoying herself. And like because she has access to anything, it's like if she wants to just jet over to the Maldives or to you know, to a beautiful city, she's able to at the drop of a hat, right? So that's like fun. Like I pick up that vibe for sure. But I do feel that like she has people in her like sort of second layer of entourage that are just like trying to take advantage. And I feel that she's not really that great at saying no to everybody, like having good boundaries. Like there's a time and a place to give back, I think. And if she wants to give back in ways that are meaningful to her, instead of like just buying people dinners and vacations, like, you know, I think like if she feels like it's okay to say no, and like if those people who just want something from her like disappear from her life, well then like great, you know, like and then they can get on with like making their life good instead of just hitching a ride on someone else's like whatever comet. Like it's like a bad comparison, but sorry, my voice is like I think it's possibly harder for me to talk because of this kind of magic energy I was talking about at first. It doesn't maybe want me to talk about it. Anyway, there's like a lot of that feeling. Okay. So we sort of talking about her general energy, like what's in her space. Um, okay, I feel like there's like a male figure that is really up to no good, kind of in the picture too. I mean, it could be like an ex, or it could be like someone like Kanye or something like that, like where it's just causing, like, you know, she's not Kim, right? But she's getting the effects, the negative effects of whatever's being sent towards her family in general. Um, and like you could argue that Kanye is quite effective at being a disruptor, you know, for better for worse in different cases. But in this case, it's like there's some unchecked willful destruction that like I'm choosing him as an example of like someone within her close circle that is causing this destruction, and it feels the closest to him. Like I could be wrong, but like I'm just gonna say like the energy feels mostly around like his type of frequency. So okay, so that's going on, and I feel like the advice there is just continue with your business and don't even respond to what he's doing, because in the, you know, people, if you think of it like people make their own bed, they have to lie in it. It's like say all you want, like I'm just gonna keep working on my business over here and taking care of my family, and the sun rises tomorrow morning, you know what I mean? So that's the advice I get about that whole thing. I mean, it's not like, let's say it's like storming outside. You don't go out and like yell at the storm. You like go in the house, like close the shutters and like read a book and wait till it's over. Kind of. That's the kind of thing. How to deal with that kind of stuff. So there's also like a lot of pressure on her to. I feel like there's a heavy emphasis on people pressuring her to have cosmetic procedures, like surgical cosmetic procedures. Um, and like, that kind of chatter you see on their show sometimes of like your relatives like sizing up your beauty or what you could tweak or this or that. And it's like, she needs to just say, like, back off, like, none of your business. And again, just let them just cry it out until they're tired and they stop talking about it. Like, they just know that they're not going to get anywhere with you, or like maybe you have like people that want you to show that you had a procedure done at their office and you get it for free, and it's just like, oh, why not? Like, I just kind of feel like the advice feels like more, instead of doing that stuff, just focus primarily on health. And if that means like taking a month or so, like in Greece, just to like, you know, not be around them. And also just like have healthy food, like swim in the ocean, like a more simple life, for a time. Just to break the narrative so they feel like they can't like force her down some path. Because I feel like if she goes further, if she does like two more procedures of that type, like she'll get into like, I regret having done that, because it won't be like as good as like whatever she's had now. I mean, I think, if you look at childhood photos and stuff, like, like she's done something or other, but like, I just feel like moving forward, like, don't do more. Um, and maybe she can be like the one in the family who promotes like health, like natural health more, and takes like a left turn right from the rest of them, um, and like promoting like just being able to like anti-aging stuff and whatever, like through healthy choices and like things like that. I mean, I didn't watch a bunch of their. I watched like a couple, um, like whatever parts of their show that like highlights or something like that, but I was never like deeply into watching it. But anyway, it's like breaking out of that narrative seems like a healthy choice, like for anyone. Like, it's just too. It's like everybody. There's a lot of manipulation energy like in there, and criticisms and stuff like that. So shit. Okay. I would have like I forget who's married to who and everything in the family, but like I feel like the father of children person um needs like some kind of backup babysitter, whether it's like his mom or like a trusted relative of his, to like kind of, if let's say they're like co-parenting like separately, like that he has like someone also there helping, like, because he might be very busy with his career or like just not 100% tuned into childcare. just so things can be like kind of smooth and like I don't know if he has like a grandma or like a mom or like somebody like that. It would be more beneficial to like team up like that in terms of childcare. Because otherwise you get into this kind of like Drew Barrymore type childhood where it's like the child's being taken to places like that maybe aren't like good for kids, like you know, like recording studios or stuff like that. I don't know. Um, okay. Sorry, there's like a jackhammer. This is a really loud apartment. Okay. So back in there. So Kylie. Yeah, so I feel like right now she has her makeup line and stuff, but I kind of feel like the makeup line's gonna take a backseat to like anti-aging creams and like this kind of health kick that I feel like she could take that would be more like in line with her purpose. Because if you think of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians as like a blessing in disguise, like in disguise because it's a bit like off-putting for some people, like how toxic it is, like um, and then like her healthy career is like a response to that, like so it's like a blessing in disguise. So I kind of see her. It's a choice she could take. Like she could just continue on doing whatever she's doing, but like this feels like a positive avenue that she could take. Um, more like healthy choices, like spending more time away from LA in like beautiful natural places, like for example Greece or like Mallorca or like something Mediterranean like that, or Aegean Sea, whatever. I know there's like, even though it's one body of water, they call it like different things depending on where you are. Um, yeah, and I just sort of get this feeling like she's not really able to fully express herself to the world because it's just gonna get distorted one way or the other. So the ways in which she can creatively express herself are through like her products and her like photos and like things like that. I feel like the mom, like as the kids are like not kids anymore, like they're fully adults, she's gonna kind of sort of shrink in terms of her public presence and like her effect on the kids. Like she can kind of say what she wants now, but they're all adults. So at the end of the day, like it's not her choice. Um, I think that will be kind of difficult for Kris Jenner because like she's used to being like so in your face, like and like that she lost her marriage. Like I don't think that the show really helped their marriage. Like wherever you decide to like create a storm of activity, like stuff's gonna move. So maybe she inadvertently like ruined something that she actually really cared about by wanting to like manipulate. So is there a lesson there for her? Like is she gonna like learn how to like let God take the wheel, and surprise her, or is she like hell bent on making something manifest again, regardless of who gets hurt or who loses what or whatever. Yeah, I feel like Kim isn't as smart as Kylie. And like there's another sibling that's like not as bright too. Like it's good to kind of like get a bit of distance on them because they're just gonna like write their own story that's separate from hers. So the idea of having these like shows exposing their private life is actually like within 2 years time going to be like a really bad idea. So if they have one going on now, like fine, but don't do one after 2 years. And definitely don't include your kids because I feel like your kids are going to be more intellectual than this grouping of family. So like her kids will go on to do like um, less like being filmed, but like more intellectual and like really smart projects. They won't be as much a fan of overexposure. I feel like she has like a lot of regrets, like romantically or this or that, and it's something that she will take time to heal, and it's not obvious how to heal that, and it's not easy for her to go to someone because like people, will sell her out to get a story in the paper or whatever. So it's sort of this very private battle. It's not a huge battle, but it's just there in the background of like growing up and like learning how to be a good person and like hurt feelings or whatever. So I think like just by getting some distance, she'll have that ability to see things more clearly and just feel like okay, everything's at peace. It's really fine. But like there's this sort of it just feels like right there next to her. It's kind of like some uncomfortable feelings or regret that aren't like major, but they're just there and not dealt with. I think, like I said, all she can really do, I feel like, in this lifetime is just make the best sort of beautiful, perfect business that she can. And because I feel like what the family has done is so extreme that like there's almost no making like a huge revolution in her life. It's like this incredible weight that she has to carry around with her, like these other people and their needs and stuff. You'd think that because they're so wealthy, they wouldn't need each other so much, but it's really like they're clinging to a life raft and then making that boat like could possibly sink because there's too many people grabbing on the sides. And it could be that like maybe whatever Kylie's doing is a more um, like a better business than what the other people have going on, and maybe that's why they're clinging in that way. But really, like the best thing to do is as soon as possible, like release them from like just have everybody be independent and go on their own kind of journey. I don't really like using that word journey, but I'm gonna use it right now. I like usually avoid it or roll my eyes if someone says it, but in this case, it's appropriate. Because like in the healing world, like you hear that word a lot. Okay, so so I'm just gonna pick up a couple more things and then stop. I feel like one of her life lessons is to enjoy the fruits of her labor. Like you can afford to take time off and like enjoy the beautiful places on earth in like a chill manner. Do that. Like you don't have to keep hustling. Like if you look at Kris Jenner, like she's constantly hustling, and it's like there's no satisfying this like hungry kind of monster for attention and security, and it's just like whatever happened that made her feel insecure is still like it's still like three Dobermans running after her in the night. You know, it's like girl, everything's fine right now. Like you really have enough. You have enough. Like, and it's okay. Like that kind of thing. Like so, if Kylie can be an example to her mom, and like I have enough. Like I made a successful business, and I will make something else that like as I mature will be like beneficial to me and to society, and it'll be beautiful and perfect and helpful, and that is enough, and I'm okay with that. And like if you want to howl like all night about like we should do this, we should do that, it's like, well, maybe she should focus, maybe Kris Jenner should focus on herself and like how she can like step into her authenticity and like heal and like make, you know, like she might not have the strength to do that alone, and you know it might be a case of like her needing to like live in an assisted like assisted living in the sense of like having people, helpful people around the house to like take care of her like psychologically and in other ways and stuff like that. um yeah, so so she doesn't drive everyone nuts, you know, including herself. So I guess it's like it's come to this, like it's like this, you know, and it can be a soft breaking point if she's if Kylie just kind of gains her independence in a way that's just like, yeah, I just like I've worked hard, my life is beautiful, let me enjoy my kids like on a beach, like away from the madness, and experience a new culture and learn about anti-aging, because like in Greece apparently, I don't know if it's Crete or some other island like where people live like the longest, so that can be like her excuse to do like research over there. You know, that kind of thing. So, and like her, the father of her children like tours internationally, so it's like what's the difference where you live, really? Like, and you don't have to live in this like rich suburban community in California. Like it, after a point it's just like a too many, it's like their life has like jumped the shark in terms of like how many episodes of this like living in California can we stomach, you know, before like Fonzie takes his motorcycle, you know, on a daredevil thing over a shark in a tank or whatever. So okay, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. I feel like, you know, I feel like the joy that she would get from being like on a Greek island or something for a time to like just be in her own space with her kids and whatever, would eventually like sort of turn on this, to make her more intuitive and connected spiritually, that would give her like, you know, bliss. So it's a good idea. And I think if she doesn't do that, she'll just be like buried in these details of like what Kanye said or like stuff like that. Like Kanye is Kanye. Like, you know, some people have the different roles, different kind of character roles in life. And like some people are disruptors, and it's like don't expect them to turn around and start like teaching meditation, you know, kind of like this is his role. So, you know, and then it has its purpose, and he's like, you know, very creative, and there's a lot of good that comes out of it. And it's kind of like the tower card, like Kanye's kind of like the tower card in the tarot deck, where it's just like, you know, I'm just gonna blow up this tower, and like the truth's gonna come out, and it's gonna be exciting, and like, you know, like that kind of stuff. It's not all bad, but it's like disruptive energy to be around. So, okay. Um, yeah, so that's sort of like a combo reading and advice. If that's helpful at all to her. Or interesting to you guys. So I hope you have a good day. And if someone has like a recommendation for celebrity reading, you know, I'll do more. Just contact me in my email. If you want to subscribe or donate to my channel, the information is in the comment or whatever, the description box below. And have a good day.